Good morning. Today I'm talking with Genevieve Tullberg from Nucleus Arts. Hello, Genevieve.
Hello, good morning.
So, Genevieve, as you know, our theme this year is art, starting a conversation. And I thought I would, start a conversation with you and find out exactly what Nucleus Arts does and how it fits into the wider role of the arts in your community.
So, Nucleus Arts, we're an arts organisation. We are a charity. We're the Halpern Charitable Foundation. The Nucleus Arts is the arts delivery part of that. We have three sites, but we have studios in actually we have studios in three or four of those sites. We support artists with affordable places to make work. We have two galleries, which is my role. I run the galleries and also do networking for artists. Nucleus Arts also has an incredible community engagement program, which we like to be part of a toolbox of tackling social isolation and mental health problems. And we have a really good team and an award-winning team. In fact, their reach is huge and they do fantastic work. The bit I'm involved in is the arts and artists. So although that is an involvement, I help find them artists to run work. That's about community more than the making or art in a bigger word. So I look after the artists and we do I run an artist networking event. I also go to other artist networking events because I know it's trite, but we're stronger if we do it together. And we found that in Medway.
Given that you run quite a few spaces, what would you hope that your spaces say to somebody coming in for the first time?
Okay, so we run two types of spaces in a way that exhibitions and the studios. Right, the studios, easy. This is a safe space to make work. Hopefully you can just about afford to do it. An artist can't make work without the space to do it. Okay, we'll park that. Our exhibition space is interesting. So we run galleries, but it's really about supporting the artists to make work. I think if you're a really established artist, you're very unlikely to come to us. What we like to do is help people to learn to put on a show or to put on a show and help them market their show. I think it's an exciting place for the beginnings is what we're there for, really.
Well, that's really nice because you are obviously interfacing between artists and the general public. Then, what sort of conversation do you think arts organizations need to have that they keep avoiding?
Okay, you've asked me this the right week. The arts organisations in Medway, and I'll talk Medway rather than Kent because that's my experience, and we have several arts organisations. Every single one of them doing superb work, and I know I would say that, but it's true. Where are our audiences? And we're very bad at finding our audiences, and I definitely think that's just lack of money. Because if we could see the expertise, but we can't afford the expertise to ask for it to come and show us. And I had a conversation this week with Sunpier House, which also has a gallery and studios, and we're going to talk about trying to market stuff together because they have exactly the same problem of engaging audiences. I think this might be a worldwide problem in the arts, but on a local level, it bothers me that way.
It certainly is. I mean, where do you think the role of funding comes in?
So there are experts who I think, would quite easily be able to answer some of our problems, but I wouldn't dream of asking them to do it for nothing. I wouldn't ask an artist to work for nothing, for exposure. We're not doing that. So what I want is to be able to pay someone to give us that expertise. And I think we're on the cusp of it. And I think we're going to get a couple of other arts organisations and try and pool our tiny resources to do that.
I think it's wonderful, though, that being based in Medway, you have all these arts organizations, as you mentioned, and everybody's willing to come together and try and avoid that silo mentality that we're seeing across so many other areas, not just in Kent, but basically all around the world. Everybody's doing good work, as you say, but they're not pulling together and creating, I suppose, a coherent narrative. So
Mm.
what can we do to increase this in other parts? If you're confident enough that this is already happening in Medway, what about the other parts of Kent, for example? What more can we do?
I tell you, it's not by accident. This has been an energetic movement to all, and it's required the appetite of all those different organisations. And so, one, you've got to have the appetite. But I don't think it's difficult. I think when time is short, you work within your arena and your area. But actually, it's not. We've all gone out and made those connections, and I intend to go to Dartford and I intend to go to Canterbury, and that should happen. I don't think it's impossible, and also we should be going to each other's exhibitions, each other's plays. I don't think that's difficult, but it requires time, and actually it does require money. People need to get there and buy their ticket.
Absolutely. Nothing happens in a vacuum, does it?
Yeah,
Despite the best of intentions. So,
yeah.
if there's one thing you could change tomorrow to improve whatever it is, what would it be?
Well, I've said it really. It is. Marketing sounds like a big word. Communication, internal and external communication, is that it open channels. And as I say, we've worked hard to have open channels here, but I don't have the answer. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? But just to, I'm going to say like your Kent Arts Conference, the people that aren't coming, why aren't they coming? This is a chance to open those conversations.
Genevieve, thank you so much for spending time with me this morning, and I'm sure we'll be having more conversations soon.